Gold team currently undefeated on the season, taking on the Shogun from Franklin, Tennessee. Should be a great match today. Should be a lot of fun. The Horde trying to stay undefeated, like I mentioned earlier. The only undefeated team in the XP League. So really excited about that. Hanover XP League is dominant on the Gold series of Overwatch. So we'll be right back here in a few minutes. We'll play a couple short videos, hoping kicking this match off pretty soon after 7, if not on 7. So stick with us. Should be a lot of great Overwatch fun. Really look forward to seeing this today, and we'll be right back.
Blitz Esports releases new videos every week. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out.
So you want to watch the Overwatch League. You're not alone, but no matter if you're a veteran esports fan or a newcomer, you can agree on one thing. Watching the game isn't always easy. Even if you've played Overwatch before, it's tough to sort out the visual clutter on broadcast and keep track of heroes, teams, or plays at any one time. And that's what we're here to help you with today. This is your Overwatch League Viewer's Guide. To start off, we'll assume you're aware of the fundamentals of Overwatch, the basic gameplay, heroes, and the concepts of cooldowns and abilities. If you're really starting from square one though, check out the video in the description for a quick rundown before we get into things. Ready? Okay, let's talk about the rules of engagement. If you've ever watched football, you know the rules of engagement. The offense and defense set up behind their linemen, and after the snap, players on either side do specific jobs to either advance the ball or stop it. Teams in Overwatch work in a similar way. There's a front line, usually made up of 2 tank heroes with high health and low damage. These are the linemen of Overwatch, who score fewer points, in this case kills, but contribute by starting fights, protecting teammates, and holding key positions on the map. Then there's the back line, where more vulnerable support heroes heal their teammates and provide unique tools, like bonus speed or causing enemies to take more damage. And finally, there are the DPS heroes. Their job is to do the most damage to the enemy team. These are your star wide receivers and running backs, making the flashy, high-impact plays that result from proper team coordination.
One right now, and look at it, he's just taking another angle. Oh my god! Oh, there we go, Saya! Triple kill from him! The huge plays! Just tombing him! Get out, Valiant!
A play or team fight in professional Overwatch sees both teams of 6 grouping up and starting a fight over an objective, whether it's a cart that needs to be pushed to the end of a track or control of a certain area on the map. Usually, one of the tanks will engage onto the other team to start, but a well-placed shot by a DPS can score an early kill and force a fight to break out. Priority targets are typically backline supports or low health damage dealers, but teams will focus down anyone if they're out of position. So we've established how teams organize themselves into roles and how each typical fight will go. But how do I know who's winning the fight and who should I be looking at? Allow me to direct your attention to the heads-up display. We'll take it step by step. Up here are portraits with the players, their hero, along with their health and progress towards their ultimate. The more ultimates a team has ready, the more likely they are to win the fight through sheer firepower and utility. Down below, you see what the player sees, their health, ammo, ultimate progress, and ability cooldowns. And finally, home teams will have their primary colors throughout the screen and across in-game effects, while the away team plays in white. It's nice info, but it's a lot to keep track of in the middle of a chaotic fight. And that's where the most useful bit comes in, the kill feed. This area of the screen will notify you of key happenings throughout the game, no matter whose angle you're viewing from. Mainly, it lets you know when a player has killed another player and who assisted in the kill. But it also tells how that kill happened, whether by a basic attack, ultimate, or just jumping off the map to regroup. It'll also show when a player destroys certain structures or attacks. For example, Junkrat's Riptire is not a player per se, but it's important enough that the kill feed will show if it's been destroyed. The same goes for D.Va's mech, Orisa's ultimate, Torb's turret, and Symmetra's teleporter. Lastly, in the specific case of Mercy, the kill feed will also show you if a player has been resurrected. It may sound counterintuitive that looking away from the action provides the most information, but keeping an eye on the kill feed is the best way to know what's happening. That's because the most important factor in who will win a fight is simple man advantage. The more players alive on your team, the more likely you are to win the fight, and the stats back this up. The team with the first kill wins the fight 3 out of 4 times. If you're watching the kill feed, you'll always have a good idea of what direction a fight is going in. Now let's put everything we've learned so far together and see how these techniques can help keep track of a massive, cluttered fight. In this play from the Grand Finals of Season 1, the London Spitfire have one more minute to push the payload against the Philadelphia Fusion. Both teams are composed similarly. Philly is using the standard 2 tank, 2 support, 2 DPS lineup, while London have traded in 1 DPS for a 3rd support hero that's tanky enough to play with the front line. The players get into formation and prepare for a fight to break out, and we see that each team has 3 ultimates. However, London has 2 players with their ults nearly charged. Once the fight breaks out, their most valuable resources will be coming up first, so slight advantage to them. The London frontline tanks start by engaging on the enemy team. While their Winston jumps in from the side, D.Va uses her ultimate to throw a bomb that forces Philly to give up their positioning. This makes Philly's Mercy use her ultimate, granting a burst of mobility and healing to keep the team alive through the onslaught. The Mercy and one of Philly's DPS heroes, their Hanzo, hide from the bomb behind the cart. However, Hanzo isn't hidden well enough, and he gives up the first kill in the fight. With man advantage secured, London is all in on the attack. Philly's Winston tries to keep the fight from moving into the backline, but London's Winston engages onto star DPS player Carpe, taking him out of the fight. Philly is able to resurrect their Hanzo at the same time though, keeping London at only a 6-on-5 advantage. These happen almost simultaneously on opposite ends of the screen, but luckily, the kill feed is keeping track. With a major DPS threat down, London targets the Philly backline, trapping them between 2 walls of blue. From here, ultimate attacks start flying from off screen and the action gets a little tough to follow. All in all, 5 players use their ults in the span of just a few seconds, and you may think that a lot happens in the chaos, but the kill feed tells us the real story. Philly scored only 1 kill, which was quickly erased through a resurrection by London's Mercy. Once the dust clears, the fight is actually back to even, and the teams get back into formation. London DPS Birdring uses his ult to initiate and catches the enemy Mercy out of position. It's a massive kill. The most valuable part of the backline goes down early and makes for a huge London advantage. They press the attack, and London looks like they get 2 kills here, sealing the deal. But remember, killing D.Va counts as 2 events in the kill feed, one for her mech and one for her, so it's not quite as over as it seems. It doesn't get much better though, as London takes down Philly's Zenyatta, the last player on their backline. All seems lost, but Carpe gets a key kill onto London's backline, taking their Zenyatta, and crucially his ultimate, out of the fight. It's now 5-on-3 for London, but Philly respawn close by, and their tank makes the smart play to back up and regroup for a proper team fight. With all 6 players alive and London's Zenyatta still on his way back, Philly have something they haven't had yet: man advantage. Winston engages to stop the cart, and once D.Va catches up, they force London to fight on the objective, letting their teammates stay safe from view. Philly's Winston eventually falls, and we're down to a 5-on-5 fight. But he's bought enough time for a big play. Carpe comes through off-screen with a headshot onto the enemy DPS, London's only major damage dealer on the field. From there, we see what a real teamfight victory looks like. Philly scores a kill on London's D.Va and resurrect their tank, making it 6v4 for Philly. Desperation abilities fly from London, including their own res, but the numbers advantage is too much. Philly whittles the Spitfire down, and with the kill feed all in white, the Fusion take the round.
Also on the Mercy, desperately trying to keep his tanks up, but it's not going to be enough. Philadelphia Fusion make a statement here. They'll take map 1. Once again, digging their heels in at the end of Dorado. History repeats itself and they're off to a good start.
Competitive Overwatch can be a mess to follow at times, but if you can understand how team compositions play out, how fights work on a basic level, and how to use the kill feed and other in-game cues to follow the action, you'll be well on your way to breaking down the game with the best of them.
Blitz Esports releases new videos every week. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out.
All right, and we are back, so we should be getting ready to kick this thing off here any second now. Just talking to the coach out there in Tennessee, and he's got his team up in there. Just to go over a lineup today, we have some kids playing in center here at Code Ninjas. Some kids are playing it from home. CNH Horde 4 is going to be Weirdo. CNH Horde 5 is going to be Slith 097. CNH Horde 3 is going to be Pizza Freak. DC Fuse is going to be playing as himself. Kid MDK and H Jackhammer is Hitscan. So that's who everybody is going to be playing as. So again, this is Escort map. For those who are not familiar with Overwatch, the intent here is to take this little payload here, this little flying ship thing, and transport it along this route to get 3 points. So there's 3 different locations along this map you got to get to. Once you get to each one of the points, you get a point. And then you'll get an opportunity to push. The other team will try to defend the push, and then we'll flip sides, and then the other team will push the payload, and then while the other team defends. So it looks like the Hanover Horde Gold team is going to be on defense initially, and the Shogun will be trying to push the payload. You can see the Hanover Horde is in blue, and the Nashville Shogun is in red. The Hanover Horde is running a lineup of Zenyatta is going to be run by Weirdo, who's Colton. Kid MDK is going to be running Sigma. That's Liam. DC Fuse, who is Declan, is running Reinhardt. CNH Ford is Horde 5 is Mercy, running by Slith 097. Hitscan, who is Hayden, will be running Hanzo, and Farah will be CNH Horde 3 will be run by Jack. So here you see the Shogun quickly come out. They jump on the payload. The Horde has decided to sit back a little bit and hold them here at this checkpoint. A couple good eliminations by Farah there, played by Jack. DC Fuse gets an elimination, so does Sigma. So good teamwork here by the Hanover Horde team to push the team from Nashville back to their spawn point and hold the payload here at this choke. So let's see what Nashville comes back with. The Horde, again, is the top-rated team in the country. They're currently 6-0 in the season, looking to go 7-0 with a victory here against the Shogun from Nashville. But the Shogun from Nashville has something to say about it. I'm sure they're excited about coming in here and playing today. Here you see a Reinhardt push by DC Fuse, taking their Reinhardt back, but unfortunately he's eliminated. Eliminations exchanged on both teams. Hanzo with a couple good eliminations, taking out the DPS players of the Shogun. So good play all around, but again, the Horde send the Shogun back to their spawn point. Farah and Zenyatta both get eliminations of the enemy Bastion and the enemy Ana. The lineup of the Shogun is they're running a Mercy, a Bastion, a Sigma, a Reaper, an Ana, and a Reinhardt. So let's see if they switch that comp up as they work through this match. Looks like they're rallying their team together, maybe trying to come out more in force. They are. Looks like they're trying to come out with the flank here, and they do manage to get back here behind the Horde. So good job there, planning that out. But their Reapers or the Reinhardt's quickly taken out, along with the Farah taking out the Mercy of the Shogun. So good technique, good try, and they did manage to get behind us. But the Horde with their lethal fires and good teamwork are a tough team to have to deal with. Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle here. DC Fuse does get booped off the map, does get knocked off the map, and ends up falling into the water. Fall on the other side by the Franklin Reaper ends up falling in the water, so you got to be careful of that. None of these characters can swim, so they fall off the side of the map. They are eliminated and sent back to spawn. Farah, again, a couple good eliminations. Jack, who's playing Farah today, has done a really good job. Zenyatta, played by Colton, takes out the enemy Bastion. Hanzo unleashes his ultimate into their spawn and manages to take out their Ana, followed up by elimination by Farah against their Sigma. So the Shogun are having a difficult time really establishing anything outside their spawn, and the Horde aren't giving them any leeway in terms of establishing themselves and able to make a concerted push. So you can see the Horde's pushing even closer now. If they're able to stop them from pushing this first payload to the point within the next minute, then the match is over, or not the match is over, but we'll switch to the opposite side and the Horde will get a chance to push. Alright, so a lot going on here. The Shogun did manage to push outside, but eliminations by Zenyatta, Hitscan, Sigma suffers fall damage. Farah does manage to demech the Diva from the Shogun. and just really just keeping them from making any kind of concerted push. So the Horde, again, Farah, a couple good eliminations with her ultimate. Mercy comes out and ends up eliminating their Reaper. The Horde, dominant performance thus far. Just a few seconds left. If they can keep the Shogun off the map, a good pin by their Ryan does manage to push one of our players back. And a Sigma ultimate does lift the Horde players up. So Shogun's not going to go quietly. But the Horde comes back, a couple eliminations by DC Fuse, Sigma, Kid MDK, 8 hit scan. And then the ultimate unleashed by Hitscan is just the last straw that broke the camel's back and sends the Shogun to defeat in their first push. So they were unable to push the payload to any of the points. Now we're going to go ahead, as it says at the bottom of the screen there, we're going to switch sides. The Hanover Horde this time is going to be coming out of spawn, and the Shogun from Franklin are going to be coming from this direction, setting up some type of defense and going to try to stop the Horde from pushing the payload at least this far. If the Horde is able to push the payload further than the Shogun was able to, then they will win the first map. This first map is called Rialto. All right, so let's see how we set up, see if we get some comp changes on either side, some player changes. So it looks like the Hanover Horde with Slith is going to go with the Brigitte this time. Hitscan has swapped over to an Ashe, and the rest of the players are the same. And on the Shogun side, looks like they're going to be running a Brigitte and a Mei this time, as well as an Ashe. So a couple of significant changes for both teams. We'll see how this plays out. So here you can see the defense of the Shogun coming out here to set up. We'll see if they decide to take more of a press defense in terms of pushing up close to the payload, or hang back like here where the Horde did and stop the payload at the choke. Now, the Shogun don't have the benefit of leeway because they just need to stop. The payload can't proceed beyond this gold box. If it is, then the Horde will win this match. So the Horde come out quickly. A couple of eliminations by DC Fuse, Hitscan, DC Fuse, 2 eliminations. Jack, Brigitte, they all get eliminations. They push the Shogun back to their spawn. At this point, with that team elimination, that's going to do it that quickly. The Hanover Horde go up 1-0 on the Shogun from Tennessee. So well played, Horde. Really, again, they're one of the toughest teams. They are the toughest team in the country. Here you see a play of the game by Jack, who's playing Farah for this match. Here you see him go up, raining down fires, takes out 1, 2, takes out a 3rd. Kid MDK in there getting an elimination. Jack with another elimination. So between the team, that was part of that team wipe that sent the entire Shogun team back to their spawn point. So good job. Both teams are wishing each other a good game. Let me credit the Horde with their first point. And we'll be back. We'll just take a quick 2-minute break, go coach the kids up, see how they did, see how they're doing, see how they're feeling, and then we'll get into this next map. Stay with us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rip it. It doesn't matter at all.
Esports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're taking that and we're delivering it to elementary and middle school kids.
Yo, you guys are getting pretty wrecked by Dad, all right, push up with me.
We're bridging the gap between conventional athletics and competitive gaming. We have kids working on the same technology that the pros are training to improve their skills.
When did you lose? Why did you lose? Like the games that you lost, why did you lose?
Through a partnership with the Positive Coaching Alliance, our coaches go through a double goal certification. They learn not only how to work through the strategies of the different games they're playing, but they also work through how to impact these kids' lives in a positive way. They get to mark and highlight behaviors and attributes that will lead to long-term life skills.
You love being Battle Mercy.
Yes, Battle
No, it's not. Why don't you tell us your favorite move that Mercy does?
So what brought me to XP League is the experience of my children. I had always hoped and wanted them to be a part of a youth athletics team. So I realized they all love competitive gaming. So why not marry their passion with what I'm hoping for them to learn and achieve, and put healthy, solid values in place in something that the kids want to do and are excited about doing.
Yes, Steve!
Experience points. Every game awards experience points. And what we built here is an experience. Professional level equipment, the top tier partners in esports. They're also getting the experience of sportsmanship values, of working with mentors and coaches, and of being part of the team. It's all about the experience.
I need you. Nice. Go. Group in now. Push in. We don't have to Good game.
All right, welcome back to Hanover, the Hanover XP League. We have our Hanover Horde Gold team taking on the Shogun from Nashville. They're currently up. The Horde is up 1-0 on Shogun. We're moving to our next map. As you can see it there, it is Route 66. This is a real fun map. Probably just another minute. We're just waiting on Tennessee to get back with us that they're good to go, and we'll kick this off. So one more commercial, and then we'll get back to some great Overwatch action.
Game over.
Alright, we are back. We're getting right into the gameplay. Again, this is Route 66. As you can see, it's kind of an old western mining town kind of feel. Here you see the payload. This will be the spawn point. So this is where the teams will come out of. It's like an old broken down train wreck took place there. They'll work their way with the payload down through here, coming up on the first spawn point right here at this gate. Work their way along here to the second spawn point. Then they'll work their way inside around this little labyrinth here, past this tractor trailer, and here you see the third spawn point. Alright, so let's work our way back to the beginning. Take this little shortcut through here. Sorry, getting spun around a little bit. There we go.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Alright, so this time, as we work our way down to the spawn, you can see the Franklin team is on defense, and the Horde will be pushing first this time. So the Horde is running, looks like they're running a Mercy. Looks like Kid MDK is running a Roadhog this time. DC Fuse is still running his Reinhardt. Brigitte run by Slith097. Hitscan will be running a Doomfist this time, and Jack will be running Reaper. Alright, so let's see how the Shogun's set up for their defense here as the Horde comes out. Looks like they're retreating a little bit. They did set up a Sigma there, right there in that little corridor. Doomfist does manage, the Roadhog does manage to take out the Ashe of the Shogun. Reaper takes out the Reinhardt from the Shogun. So a couple good, 2, 3, 4 good eliminations by the Horde, and sends the Shogun back to their spawn. So excellent job, followed up by a good Roadhog elimination of May. So the payload is moving for the Horde. Pretty quick move so far. Let's see if the Shogun is able to get back here and stop before we get to the first point. So the Horde's going after them as they work their way through this choke point in here. It's going to be hard to see all that's taking place in the action in here, but the Reaper and the Roadhog managed to take out 2 players of the Shogun as the Hanover Horde decides to chase the Shogun back. Let's see if they're still moving their payload, which they are. They got their Roadhog sitting back here on top of the payload as it continues to push towards the first point. All right, and they achieved the first point. Let's see what's happening on the other side. Defense right here. Brigitte gets pinned and taken out by the play of the Shogun Reinhardt. So good job there by the Shogun team. But Reinhardt quickly is, the Reinhardt's quickly chased down by Jack, who's playing Reaper, who manages to take them out along with the help of the Doomfist. So the payload continues to move. Good res there by the Mercy, played by Colton, who quickly goes up, starts healing his Roadhog up here. As the payload continues to move. Couple eliminations by Jack, playing as Reaper, CNH Horde 3. His gamer tag is Pizza Freak. Alright, so let's get a little bit higher view as they work their way around the corner here. There you see at that gate is the second point where Reinhardt of Shogun charges out here. But he's kind of all alone. The rest of his team is a little slow to follow behind. There you see the Ana up there on the ledge. She's quickly dealt with by hit scan. Jackhammer, who takes out her. Alright, the Sigma. Ultimate unleashed by the Sigma from the Shogun, but doesn't find anybody home. Jack Reaper takes out the Ash of the Shogun, and the payload continues to move really quickly. This is, for those not familiar with Overwatch, this is an extremely quick push and extremely quick play by the Horde. So the Horde decided to be super aggressive here. Here you see them going directly after the Shogun as they were set up top, ready to set up some type of ambush as they walked around. Doomfist, played by Jackhammer. Good eliminations there. Jack, played by Pizza Freak, is playing Reaper, takes out Doomfist with the elimination, takes out 1, 2, 3 of the Franklin Shogun. So hit scan, nice job there with his ultimate unleash, and just manages to take out 3 of the Shogun players. So the Horde continue to push the payload, working their way towards the third point. Here you see an ultimate unleashed by Pizza Freak, takes out the Ana and the Lucio. And then he follows up with a quick elimination of the Reinhardt. Doomfist, Jackhammer, does manage to take out another one of their players in the Ash. And looks like they're going to push all the way through to the point. And they do. They managed to secure the third point with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock. So this just really dominates, just demonstrates how dominant a team the Hanover Horde is. That was an extremely quick push. 4 minutes left on the clock is a long time. But the match isn't over. We're going to flip sides again. And this time the Shogun will have the opportunity to push the payload. And the Horde will have the opportunity to try to stop them. Good little pop up here to gotta get rid of. There we go. Alright, work our way through this building here. Work our way down to the spawn. So again, if you're cheering for the Shogun from Nashville, from Franklin, Tennessee, they're going to be in blue. And if you're cheering for the hometown Hanover Horde team, they're going to be in red. Looks like we've got a similar lineup. Looks like we got the exact same lineup from the Horde this time. In terms of the Franklin Shogun, they are running Moira in support this time, and then Zarya as tank. So let's see if this comp is a little bit more beneficial for them in taking on this tough Hanover Horde team. All right, so here you see the Horde setting up for defense. Looks like we're going to play a little combination of some players a little deeper, some players a little bit more shallow. So here you see the back line with Roadhog playing back here, protecting the payload. Looks like they've got their Reinhardt coming in here, trying to meet the Horde. But a couple eliminations by Kid MDK, Hitscan, DC Fused, Pizza Freak. Looks like everybody got on the action to send the majority of the team back to spawn. Here you see the Shogun coming out again. Again, it's a tough match to play the Horde. This is the second full season for the majority of the team. The only new player this season is Slith097. The Horde was a really good team this last year, and during the off-season, The Hanover Horde spent a lot of time practicing together, and they really move as a fluid team together. It's fun to watch their progression from when most of these kids really just started playing the game last season to how good they've gotten and how good their communication is. Eliminations by Jack, by Pizza Freak, by Hitscan, taking out the Shogun, trying here hard for a spawn pin just to keep them from even getting out and getting on the payload, and from being able to actually move the payload at all. Just 2 minutes 38 seconds. If they're able to stop them for the remaining time without getting a point, they will win this second mat and they will win the match. So this is for it all. Good pin there by Kid MTK. Ultimate Unleashed by Pizza Freak there. Takes out the Zenyatta and the, I'm sorry, not the Zenyatta, the Zarya. And then that's followed up by Kid MDK eliminating their Mei. So again, Horde's just doing a good job keeping them from being able to really assemble any kind of push outside of their spawn. Here you see their Reinhardt did manage to get out and around, so we'll see if the Shogun can take advantage of him being out there. But it was largely a 1 versus 5, 1 versus 6 there, and he didn't stand a chance for too long. Eliminated by Pizza Freak there, taking out their Zarya. Hitscan playing Doomfist there, gets an elimination, taking out their Moira no sooner than they come out the side. Again, they managed to get their Reinhardt out here. Let's see if they're able to buy enough space and time for the rest of the team to get out here and start doing some damage. But no, quickly the Reinhardt and the Doomfist take care of their Zarya. So we'll watch it again from this angle, see if the Shogun's able to push out. Reinhardt comes out here with a good charge. So again, see if he can get some time. Unfortunately, just really good play by Brigitte here, helping out the Reinhardt to counter their Reinhardt.
60 seconds remaining.
All right, if you're interested, this is, again, 7 of an 8-week season that we're currently running, but we will be starting a winter season. There's an Ultimate Unleashed by Jack. Pizza Freak taking out 1, 2, 3, and then the rest of the team follows up with a team wipe of the Shogun. Just 36 seconds left. But like I was saying, if you want to participate, we'll be holding tryouts here at the end of January for our next season of Overwatch. It's an 8-week season. We have a lot of fun as the Shogun do make a concerted push. Get around the flank of the Horde. But unfortunately, the Horde's just too strong. DC Fuse with a couple really good eliminations, taking out their Baptiste and their Mei. Good resurrection by their Mercy, played by Colton, to bring back DC Fuse, who's our Reinhardt, and just pushes them and knocks them back off the payload. Just a good team move. Mei puts her wall up there. We are in overtime. The wall's quickly disassembled. Reinhardt on Reinhardt battle taking place here. But the Reinhardt does manage to get close to the payload here, but Roadhog managed to throw a hook in him here. They are in overtime, so all the Horde would need to do at this point is to knock them off of the payload, to keep them away from the payload long enough for that overtime counter to go down, and they would win this match, and like I said before, they would win the match. Okay, here you see another Ultimate Unleashed by Pizza Freak. With the Reaper, takes out 2, 3. The team follows up with a couple of lower eliminations, and that's going to do it. The Hanover Horde are going to win this second map and win the match. So we'll see if the Shogun wants to play one more match after this. Here you see the player of the game, Hitscan, playing Doomfist this time. So this is when they were set up top. There you see him take out, Jack takes out 1. Here he comes in with the charge. Coming down with his Meteor Strike, taking out 1, 2, 3 of the Franklin Shogun. So well played, Hayden, playing Doomfist on there. Well played by the Shogun. It was a tough match, but the Hanover Horde comes out on top. And let me see if we're going to play one more. If so, I'll let you know. We'll be right back here in 1 minute. Hello everybody, my name is Josh, and I want to introduce you to 2 clubs we're offering here at Code Ninjas Hanover. They're Minecraft Club and Roblox Club. If you have a Minecraft or Roblox fanatic in your house, and they're between 7 to 14 years old, get them enrolled in these clubs. They're going to have a really good time. These clubs run on Mondays. Minecraft Club runs 5:30 to 6:30, and Roblox Club runs 6:30 to 7:30. And they're going to teach your kids how to develop games within Minecraft and Roblox. Minecraft uses a software called MCreator, which will teach them how to use, and it builds mod packs so they can develop their own Galacticraft, their own Spider-Man version of Minecraft. Really, the sky's the limit as creative as they want to get with MCreator. Roblox uses Roblox Studio, which is a great 3D game development environment. It also teaches them how to work in 3D design and understanding the physics of working in a 3D game development environment. So both softwares are great. The other added benefit of this is that you kids will be able to take this software home and install on their own computer. So it's not just the 1 hour a week they'll be able to work here. They'll be able to continue to work on what they learned at home. Each one of these clubs is $89 a month, or if you sign up for both and you want them here for the 2 consecutive hours for the club, it's $159 a month. So a little bit of cost savings there. So these slots are expected to fill up quickly. We have just a few left, so if you want to get them enrolled, get them enrolled. The clubs start in October, and we look forward to seeing your ninjas here at the center. All right, that's going to do it. The other team has had enough at this point. So good game over there to the Franklin Shogun, and congratulations to the Hanover Horde Gold team, moving on to 7-0 in the season, undefeated, and looking to go 8-0 and complete the season undefeated next week. So if you want to join us next week, we enjoy having you. Help cheer on the Hanover Horde Gold as they go for an undefeated season, and to put Hanover on the esports map of Overwatch. So thanks for joining us today. We'll look forward to seeing you next week, and take care.